You ever sit in a meeting where everyone's talking fast, bouncing ideas off each other, and you know you have something valuable to say, but you hesitate? Not because you're not prepared, not because you're unsure, but because you're still processing, still connecting the dots, still thinking deeply. And by the time you're ready, the conversation has already moved on. I've been there. And honestly, so have so many of the introverted leaders I work with. Recently, I had a conversation with an executive leader who described it perfectly. She told me she's the only introvert on her executive team. Everyone else? Loud, fast talking, always jumping into the conversation. And she sometimes said it feels like I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum from everyone else in the room. So I asked her, in that kind of environment, how do you create influence? How do you make your voice count? She paused for a moment, thoughtfully as introverts do. Then she said something I'll never forget. I don't speak up all the time, but when I do, I make sure my ideas count, and I make sure I see them through. And in that moment, there was only one phrase circling in my head: quiet power. That's it. That's the essence of introverted leadership. It's not about being loud, it's about being intentional, strategic, present. But the reality is, a lot of introverted leaders don't feel powerful. They feel overlooked. They deliver results, but don't get the credit. They lead with clarity, but get overshadowed in noisy environments. They don't want the spotlight. They just want to be seen for who they are and what they bring. If that's you, I want to share a few things that might help. First, speak early, even if it's just a small observation or a clarifying question. You don't need to wait until you've got a fully polished idea. Just anchor your presence early in the conversation. It's not about dominating the discussion. It's about showing that you're there and engaged. Second, make your work visible, but do it in a way that feels right to you. Share your progress. Talk about what your team is learning. You're not bragging. You're building alignment. You're showing leadership. Third, use written communication to your advantage. If speaking up in a fast meeting feels draining, write, email, Slack. Share a note after the call. Thoughtful written communication lasts, and it lets your clarity and insight shine. Fourth, own what you're driving. Signal it. Say, here's what I'm leading, or here's what I'm focused on from a leadership perspective. That small shift in language can make a big difference in how others perceive your role. And finally, remember this: visibility doesn't come from volume, it comes from consistency. Show up, deliver, speak with purpose, and trust that your quiet power will speak louder than noise ever could. Because your voice matters, even if it's not the loudest in the room. And if this resonates with you, you're not alone. That's why I created Coach AV. It's a space for introverted leaders like you to get support, strategies, and a place to reflect without having to pretend you're someone else. So if you're navigating the pressure of leadership as an introvert and want a little extra support, Coach AV is here when you need it. And if you want to talk about it, really talk about it, I'd love to connect. You can always DM me, because we need more quiet leaders in the spotlight. We need more of you.